altcoins. So the average investor is bombarded with so many opinions and so many coins. Now, some of these then become universally agreed. We all agree that Solana is a beast. We didn't know that information back in 2021 at FTX. I mean, 2022, no one was buying it, right? So what do you do now as an investor who's going by the information they get online and people with various different interests? How do you classify your portfolio? Do you buy everything? Do you buy a mixed bag? What do you do? So in any particular category, we are bombarded with options, right? We are bombarded with options. And I think many people are kind of starting to feel the pinch a little bit. And I'm noticing that despite the fact that you can print money on the meme coins, you still need to have relatively stable portfolio to make good money without having to stress. Especially a lot of you work, right? A lot of you work during the day. So this stuff is going to be very difficult in terms of trading, in terms of getting money out of the market. And I want to help people out by doing this. So let's have a look at this. So layer ones, so large caps, normally these are the ones I'm in, all right? Sui, Cas, and Say. Now, do you need to have all three? Absolutely not. Do you need to even have an exposure to a large cap? I think if you've survived this long without a large cap in the layer ones, that is not a problem at all. Okay, so then we've also got in the RWA. Now, some of these projects would be considered, like for example, Axelar is an RWA and a large cap. So let's put a mark here. Now, if you wanted to, what you can do with the large caps, you can actually buy the smallest large cap out there if you're nervous. But I tend to skip that because I feel like if you want to pull more money from the cycle, you need to come to the smaller caps to do that. So let's go through the large projects first. So what I would say is if you're holding a layer one, Sui, Kaspa, or Say, Kaspa is one that I've held for a very long time. And like I said to you guys, I'm not gonna sell it because of the FUD. I need some pumps to come in. Got listed on Kraken. Didn't do anything to the price, but I will be selling my Kaspa. It's looking more and more likely that I'd get out of Kaspa around that 50-cent mark, just because I've got so much Kaspa to offload, right? Sui, I'll ride it all the way. I think the catalyst for Sui is going to be in January. And then you've got the likes of Say. Now, Say, I could trade Say into something else. And I've got an option here. I've got Peaq, Monad, and Kai Network. And we'll talk about Peaq in a minute. But that's what I want to do. I want to try and secure a 5x, a 10x maximum from these. All right. So all of these right now will remain in my portfolio. And I'm going to give them a green bill of health. All right. So we'll just go back to black here. And we will go. Yeah. So I'm going to keep that. Axelar is a double play. All right. Like I said before, it's a layer one. It's a cross chain. And it's one that I'll continue to accumulate in the next bear market. So I'm going to keep that. Let's talk about Ondo. Ondo right now seems to me that it is run out of steam. But look at the price of some of these large caps. So I'm interested. I'm going to actually put a kind of a, because this is a trade for me. I'll put this in the sell category. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to trade it as soon as it gets to like $1 plus, because I know I'm not going to hold this until the massive unlock. So I need to be out of this next month. Having said that, I am interested in recouping my my bag here. Okay. Now I'm going to recoup it because I think I have a suspicious fear. I'm suspicious that the price absorption of the unlock, if the market is going nuts, would be quite insignificant. So you need to be flexible. But I do have a decent bag and it's actually going to be for sale. So let's go back to Axelar here. I will keep Axelar and I'm going to sell Ondo at any moment now. Put out a sell alert for it because I think the moment I get a pump, I will sell be in a decent profit, and then I'll buy back again, because I do feel like it is a sleeper, and it could be, you know, with the week that Biddle has been launched, BlackRock, it's a gigantic one. Now I've put near, and I'm going to put near for some people, because some people have near protocol. I don't, but near protocol at these levels, I think for some people, especially those of you who can have the large caps looking for 5 to 10x, I think near protocol is decent. And then I've put in the DePIN section, so that's AI large cap. All right, DePIN, there's only a few of these here. Interesting one, I think the Arweave price, if you got in at the lows, I think Arweave is good to ride for the cycle. You can't have all crappy tokens, and Arweave is definitely one that I think with AO, I'm also interested in AO, but there is some sell pressure there, so I'm going to wait for AO. But I think the interesting case here is to make sure that in DePIN, I mean, any of these for me are a go. The only thing about Peaq, so I will put any of you guys who hold Ionet or Aether, I think you will get your pump. Now, is the pump going to be as hard as, you know, some of the more micro caps? I don't think so, but very good projects to hold. I think Ionet will surprise people. It's already on Binance, and Aether is the one that I went with here, and I think Aether will be good. Now, Peaq, for those of you in my Discord will know that I've done an entire assessment on Peaq. Entry is not great right now, and I think Peaq could do well once the 6 months vesting is kind of cleared out. So at the moment, the inflation is quite hectic. So what we need to see with Peaq is demand for the token in the ecosystem, because I think Peaq Network is going to be one of those incredible projects, but in 2 cycles. I really do. And the other thing about Peaq right now is it competes with Solana, which has the DePIN narrative on lock, right? Solana is the king of DePIN. Very, very good projects on Solana. So that's where the competition is. But they do offer this machine economy. And of course, you know, if you go start building, they've got a very good SDK kit. So I think this one is definitely one that could enter my portfolio. But for now, I think any of these, if you just wanted a large cap exposure, because not everyone is a degen, you could get away with that. All right, let's continue, guys. Now, gaming large caps. I mean, first of all, XAI has done tremendously well for me, but I'm going to sell it. And YGG is a very good project if you're looking for a relatively, in gaming terms, a decent large cap crypto, which I don't hold at the moment. And then, of course, we go to the large caps on the memes. The one that I'm gonna, hold, and I'm actually gonna put my. So I'm gonna hold Pepe coin. I think $8 billion for the main Pepe. This has been very good to me, but I will take some profits and stick it. Whatever remains in my portfolio, I think half of it will go into that. Peanut, I mean, I've sold majority of it. I've made what I consider to be life-changing money in the shortest space of time. But right now, I think I'm going to sell it. And Brett, I'm going to hold until the end of the bull market. Very clear. And then for DeFi, I think both of these could be absolutely, I know people holding Aero. I know people holding Pendle. Pendle's also an RWA play. Now you could add Camino into this section, but we'll talk about that. So all you need really is 1, maximum 2 large caps, depending on where you want to go. You want a large cap layer 1 is good. If you skip the whole of the large cap layer 1s, you could still have an incredible bull market by holding any of the other large market caps. Is it essential? No, but you get to eat first. All right, you get to eat. Like, people don't understand. You come to the table to eat first with large caps, because they will pump their 5, 10x's, whatever money flow. Traditional money flow will always be into the large caps. All right. Now let's go into the degen. So I've considered these as small. And here's where I want to make a difference, because buying and keeping crypto is one thing and having conviction is another, because without conviction, everybody loses. So I have done, to my knowledge, all the best that I could by doing my research. And I have looked into ALF, and I think ALF is my strongest layer one microcap. Why do I say that? I say that because ALF has completed all of the requirements that's needed to pump. Now, the one thing that people will say, oh, the price action. Well, you're lucky if you keep the price at this point, because I think the price will move eventually. Look at the amount of upside for alephium, right? The amount of upside is frightening. And when it was at $1, I put a buy alert. I mean, people are always kind of cautious when it comes to these, but I think this makes life-changing money. All right, let's go to Tectum. I think Tectum is going to be sold. I haven't done that yet, but I am going to try to reduce the size of my bag. Why? Is because just some of the momentum's not there. All right. At this point, if you get into Tectum and if you buy Tectum, if you hold Tectum, I will still be holding, but I'm going to partially, my bag is way too big here. All right. And in its place, I may get a double narrative small AI layer one, which is something like an Ori chain. I haven't decided what I want, but that's where my mindset is. Okay. Then we go to small caps in terms of RWA. Now, RWA is an interesting one for me because I think the fundamentals here, you need to be very careful. There's going to be a season where you need to trade RWA, and after that, things will go funny. So Dusk is a layer one. Parcel has got Solana. I like both of these, so I'm going to keep them moving. And then, of course, with AI, I'm going to actually increase my holdings in basedai and in DAI. And you may say, where's some of that money going to come from? I'm going to reduce my aitech and AGI bags significantly, and I may just add some spec, and possibly cubic run for now is kind of red orange in my portfolio. Why am I saying AGI and AI tech? Well, AGI and AI tech have been fantastic. AGI has made a lot of money for me. Both of these entries are sub 4 cents, so I can't complain about them. I've actually got reasons why people should buy more AI tech. I think it will pump, but I just have way too much of the damn things. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. You do you, I do me. And then, of course, if you're looking for DePIN small projects, I think Node AI is an obvious choice here. I think Fala is not one that I bought, but I am researching into it. And Zebiak is another interesting one that is requiring further research. I think any of these are decent. There's way too many projects on this category, so I'm aligning myself with the relatively larger caps, because they're not way too large compared. I mean, Aether fully diluted is large, Ionet fully diluted is large, but for this cycle, they're not really too different from the size of these projects. Let's move on to gaming. Gaming, all my gaming money will be in Heroes of Mavia and Carrot Coin. Of course, I do have others that I'm going to show you in a minute as well, but I'm going to hold these two for the cycle. Very simple, not messing about, not thinking every 2 days, should I buy this or should I buy that? Okay. Two meme coins that I go to bed at night when I think of memes are Toshi and Foxy. I'm just going to let them run, man. And then, of course, CTES is one that I'll take profits from because of the entry is so big, but I'm going to hold the rest of the bag, and maybe I'll switch some of that money flow into Camino. All right. And now let's move to the dirty side of things. Now, of all these, I mean, you've got to be super careful, guys. So, these are very, very risky. So I'm gonna look at the first one here, Zealous. I think Zealous, for the risk to reward ratio, it may attract some Kaspa fans. Nexa for me is semi, I've held this thing for a while. Massa, I mean, if you were looking for a layer one with a potential Tau subnet, that is decent. I think Massa could be the one. This is a super interesting one. This is a new token called $7 million market cap, and it's called Pepe Coin Network. It's a layer 1 for degens. All right. You might want to check that out. And of course, if you're looking for a totally more risky layer 1, maybe it's something like a script could also do okay in your portfolio. But Pepe Coin Network at $7 million market cap, that is going to be tremendous. Now, since we talked about RWAX on the live stream, it's done unbelievably well. And I'm riding it now for a cool off, but I think base RWA token with 100x potential would be RWAX. Balance AI, I've lost money in this. And then, of course, the mainnet has come to fruition. It's at sub $10 million market cap. I think I'm going to get back into it. And I'm holding, I've made so much money from this Eagles AI, it's not even funny. So for that some sentimental value, I'm going to hold it. In terms of my micro cap gaming, there's no denying that Moon Tropica will stay in there. WoW Studios, big shout out to the WoW Studios team. And the one that I was supposed to put in here is, that's pissing everyone off, is G Swift, and I'll talk about it. Corpo, I'm going to hold it, but I'm going to give it a shady green. Of course, OTK as well. I'd be selling these at a pump. And of course, this one as well. This one, I'll be also selling this as a, let me just go these two. I'll be taking, yeah, this one I'm going to sell as soon as I'm in some decent profits. Of course, I should have added Shrapnel, but Shrapnel is a trade. And then that's it. Now, in terms of meme coins, you know, anything this is, doesn't really matter. My two main ones are Toshi and Foxy. You know, I can add used car here. Doesn't really matter. All of these are in the portfolio. There's no debating about meme coins. You just need exposure. You just need one or two. All right. And then micro caps, I'm looking at Sturdy Finance. And I'm looking at maybe turbos if I get out of CETIS and roll into Camino. Okay, guys, this has been very important. Now, what I would say is now the makeup of a perfect portfolio would be something like this. Okay, large cap. I can take one large cap here. I would take perhaps Sui because it's going to have a bigger run. But you can have Kaspa or Say. It doesn't really matter. All subjective. And of course, in terms of from a layer ones, we've covered the, you know, RWA assets, you know, we've covered AI, DePIN, memes, and gaming. Guys, nobody knows where the market's going to top. So build your portfolio according to what you like. I think for me, that's a very, very good kind of honest discussion. Nobody should be pissed off about the fact that I'm going to try and rotate some into others. It's just the way, that's just the way it is. Things will never be. Listen, you've got to understand, you have to buy some winners and you have to take some risk. Okay? That's all it is. There was a guy, I kid you not. Let me show you this guy. I was just going through these guys on my feed. There was let's see, bookmarks. I want to share something with you. Okay, check this out,
lads. Oh fuck, was that my seed phrase? The fuck? Where the fuck is my fwag at? All the fucking fwag is out of my wallet right now. All the shoggoth.
Yeah. Consider that. Food for thought, guys. It could always be worse. This kid was accidentally streamed his portfolio and got shafted. You think you got it bad? There's always someone else out there who's having it worse than you guys.
Okay.
Stay safe, stay healthy, like the video, and let's see you on the next one.